This is going to be a movie review of Jurassic World, starring Chris Pratt, Blythe Dallas Howard, Vincent D'Onofrio, Jake Johnson. Can't think of any other people whose names I know. But you get the gist. Those are the major stars, I guess, that are in it. Yeah, Jurassic World. It was really good. I saw it yesterday, and I would say definitely go see it, especially if you're a fan of the franchise. I remember when Jurassic Park came out when I was a kid, and I was obsessed, like literally obsessed with it. I think I went to the theater 3 or 4 times and saw it. I had it on VHS when it came out on VHS. That lets you know how old I am. Watched it so much on VHS that, you know, when you watch the VHS tapes too much and you rewind it too much, it gets those squiggly lines. I watched it to the point where the squiggly lines was pretty much all I saw. So I was completely obsessed with it. Loved the movie when I was a kid. Didn't really enjoy the second and third one. The third one, like, I wouldn't even bother seeing it. It really had nothing else to do with the story. Second one was okay. Jeff Goldblum came back to the second one, and he, for some reason, had an adopted black daughter. For, like, randomly just had a daughter who was black. For no reason. She was just there. But yeah. Anywho. I always thought that was intriguing. So if you want to see the second one, I say, yeah, go ahead and see the second one. Because Jeff Goldblum comes back and Julianne Moore is in the second one too. So, more about Jurassic World. It stars Chris Pratt. And he's kind of a velociraptor trainer. And he can, I wouldn't say control them. He can, like, train or order them to do certain things, but they're not really trained. It's kind of like how you tame a tiger or train a tiger. Like, you can kind of train it, but you can't really ever turn your back on a tiger. Like, he'll rip you. So it's like that. And Blythe Dallas Howard's character, she's kind of the curator of the theme park in Costa Rica. I forgot the name of the island. It's the island Bar Isler or something. I forgot the name of the island. But she is the curator of it and has to deal like the day-to-day operations. So the whole theme of the movie is that the theme park has been, I guess, running for 22 years since the first Jurassic Park, and they're losing money because the attractions aren't, you know, attracting customers anymore. So what they decide to do is make this super dinosaur that has all the DNA of like other dinosaurs and like a tree frog and crocodile and what else? There was like a lot of other stuff. I can't tell you one of the other things because that would be a spoiler. But it had it was a super dinosaur. It had like a lot of stuff in it, and it was super, super smart. So it gets out of its cage and starts rampaging into the theme park. So Chris Pratt and Dallas Howard have to go and, you know, wrangle this super dinosaur and save her 2 little nephews, the boys that are in the previews. Those are her nephews. And they have to escape the super dinosaur. And at the end, the velociraptors. 'Cause the velociraptors are badass. Like, I wouldn't even know. I feel like it would be better to try to escape from that super dinosaur than the velociraptor. Anyway, what happens is that the dinosaur gets out, the super dinosaur gets out, and Blythe Dallas Howard has to get Chris Pratt to help her, number 1, find her nephews, and number 2, try to wrangle this super dinosaur and make sure it doesn't hurt anyone else. Then it gets out. Blythe, I'm just gonna call her BH, I think. BH and Chris Pratt go through the park trying to find her nephews and try not to get eaten by this super dinosaur. So near the end, Vincent D'Onofrio's character, who's kind of I won't say missionary. I'm not too sure what group they're in, but they're like the last resort group. Like if the dinosaurs get out, they're the ones that can come in and like kill them or wrangle them up into a group, or get them obviously for money. And they fail, of course. The dinosaur does eventually get into a theme park, but not before he releases these super dinosaur birds that have these long dagger-like beaks. And there's one that looked like the head of a Tyrannosaurus Rex with the body of a bird. So he crashed into their aviary, is what they call them. So all the birds were released, and then the birds started like dive bombing into the crowds of people, and just impaling them, eating them, picking them up, slamming them down. It's pretty horrible. Scenes like that, when people are like running for their lives, it just lets you, for me at the very least, just convinces me more and more to get into shape, honestly, because you have to run for your life. And if you're not in shape, you're gonna get eaten. It's just like the zombie movies. Like, yeah, zombies are so whatever, but you have to run for like a long time and make sure that they don't catch you and you get eaten. And then the zombies in World War Z were like super fast. So like you gotta be like good and in shape and run. So movies like these, like zombie movies, action movies, thriller movies, whenever I see them, I'm just convincing myself, okay, you need to get in shape, because what if there isn't a zombie apocalypse? Like you have to be able to run away, pretty much. So yeah. At the very end, Vincent kind of blackmails the Chris Pratt into releasing the velociraptors and using them to hunt this super dinosaur. And can't tell you what happens near the end, because that's a big spoiler. I think I already told you a couple of spoilers throughout this this review. So yeah, near the end they release the velociraptors to try to catch the big dinosaur. I'm not gonna tell you what happens. It's very, very good. It is extremely nostalgic. Every scene in the movie just remind me of how I felt when I first saw the first Jurassic Park movie. I remember when I was a kid, I was just being like in awe of it, and like had a sense of wonderment and excitement and like fear and like happiness, because like they got away in the first movie and like everything kind of worked out okay, and it's kind of the same feeling with this one. So it's very nostalgic if you ever saw the first one. If you haven't seen the first Jurassic Park, I would advise seeing the first Jurassic Park. You could probably skip 2 and 3 and then seeing this Jurassic World movie, because it's really, really good. And I think that's what the director, like Steven Spielberg or one of the directors, said, that that's kind of how they want you to go into it, like kind of pretending that the second and third one don't exist. But just try to remember the first one and then go into this one, which is your memory of the first one, which it really did work out good, because it really did kind of just pick up from the first movie. It's really, really good. It's really exciting. A lot of action. Chris Pratt is great in it. Even Blythe, her character kind of had to grow on me near the end, but I think they wrote her like that. You know, she was like very aloof and like about the numbers, like crunching the money numbers or whatever, but near the end she becomes real badass, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can tell you. If you do want to know more spoilers, you can watch the very, very end of this review. I'll tell you some things that happen if you do want to know. If you don't want to know, then you should stop watching right now. And I hope you do go see the movie. It's really, really good. I'm sure everyone will enjoy it. A little tidbit: don't try to go into the movie so much trying to dissect the scientific information in it, because a lot of scientists try to like bash the movie, like that's not realistic and that's gonna happen. I'm like, it's a movie. It's supposed to be entertaining. It's not like supposed to teach you about, DNA splicing or, cooking up blab dinosaurs. Like, I, I, I don't think people really care about that or need to know about that so much. So I would just say go in with an open mind of just being entertained, which is what this movie is about. It's about entertaining you. I think it's supposed to be teaching you about the real ideas and theories about dinosaur embryos or whatever. Anywho, go see the movie. It's great. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. If you're a fan of Jurassic Park, the first one, I do honestly believe you will really, really enjoy this one. Thanks guys for watching. Have a good weekend. Bye. Okay, major spoilers. What happened at the end is that they try to use the velociraptors to capture the super dinosaur that's all evil and super intelligent and smart, whatever. What they didn't tell them is that the super dinosaur has velociraptor DNA in it. So when the velociraptors saw him, they started talking and communicating to one another. You know, dinosaurs can talk. And then the velociraptors kind of turned on Chris Pratt and his people, which you kind of saw coming. I mean, they're velociraptors, and I don't think they'll be the most loyal bunch, but whatever. And then near the end, at the very end, they turn on the super dinosaur and then help Chris Pratt again. So they went back and forth. Yeah. But they showed out near the end and they saved Chris Pratt and BH and the kids, which is nice. That super huge monster that you see in the preview, I think it's called a Moniosaurus. He eats the big super dinosaur. I forgot that dinosaur's name. I think it was something Rex. Something Rex. Sorry, can't think of it. And then there's a huge battle between the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the first Tyrannosaurus Rex from the first Jurassic Park movie, and that super villain dinosaur. I forgot his name. What is it? I'll put it down here again. Yeah, there's this huge battle near the end, and it looks like the super villain dinosaur wins. But then that huge big dinosaur from the previews eats him hardcore. Pretty bad. So bad, yeah, almost even felt sorry for him, but not so much. Eats him good. Alright, so those are big spoilers of the movie. Thanks. Have a good night. Bye.